learning style, and everything. And teachers has to adapt. The teaching methodologies should be adaptive to take care of all the children, to give them some, to take away home something. So that is most important. And also, if you focus on the global level, there are so many barriers. Some children, they due to poverty, the hunger is a problem, and maybe lack of internet is also nowadays it's a problem. Uh, so these things. Other main part is the girls' education. Some societies they have girls are more into domestic chores, so they are not allowed to go to school. They feel like it's not necessary. So these type of things should be improved, and they should be taken into care. So these are the three main focus of a global partnership for learning education. So the first they what they do is they bring people from people, governments and NGOs, and also private sector to fix the broken education system. So they focus on system transformation and sustainable financing, which means that they are going to focus on the laws, already exist laws and budgets. So they are not giving all countries the equal budget to the every area of that nation. What they focus on is that the poorest area should be given more finance with rigid rules and regulations to build them. At the same time, the other advanced people have maybe you can focus on the digital things. So in this way, it may not be fairly equally the budget is allocated, but it will focus mainly on the needs rather than the equality. The other thing is gender equality is important. Some areas, as I mentioned, girls suffering from sanitary needs. So some schools, they don't have basic facilities even. So those kind of these things make children drop out of school. And we have to give them that facility, take care of that facility and provide them that easiness to come to school with all the facilities. And also, most importantly, improving quality of education is important, which means that not all the children coming to school and being in the school is not enough, but children should be categorized into their level and their age. But there should be a minimal border, like basic literacy, basic numeracy should be done at this age. This should be done. So that categorization should be there, and children should be focused in groups, and teachers should be able to adapt to their learning things, because children are not same. So we have to focus on that. So those are the most three main focus of this global partnership for education. With this, I would like to conclude my speech about fair education. So all teachers, educators are here. We have to think a little bit one step ahead now. Fair education is not about giving everything the same resources. It's about making them, giving them the opportunity to thrive no matter where they start from. Thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Gloria.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Chiama. Thank you for that global outlook. Your presentation clearly shows how cross-border partnership can strengthen access and fairness in education worldwide. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate your presentation. And you're welcome. And moving on, I'm going to welcome Dr. Sarika to take over the floor. She's going to be speaking on girls' education and equity, breaking structural barriers through learning. Over to you, Dr. Sarika.
Good evening, Gloria ma'am, and all AWT educators. Today's topic is very great, and this is from my heart. I start from my own poem. I too, only 4 lines. I too am a daughter, you too are a daughter. An eternal inspiration of life itself, adoring our homes and courtyards. Sea rises becoming the sky of her own dreams, own dreams. Now, equality versus equity, what fair it truly looks like. Girls' education and equity. You two are a daughter, an eternal inspiration of life itself. Adoring our homes and courtyards, she rises, becoming the sky of her own dreams. These lines remind us that every girl carries limitless potential, yet potential alone is not enough. It needs opportunity, support, and fairness to grow. Education is often described as a great equalizer, but the reality is that not every child begins life from the same starting point. This is why the difference between equality and equity truly matters. Equality means giving every learner the same resources, the same curriculum, and the same opportunity. While this same may look fair, fairness is not sameness. This distinction becomes especially critical when we talk about girl education. Across the world, girls face structural barriers, poverty, early marriage, domestic responsibilities, safety concerns, limited digital access, and social norms that still unvalue girls' education. Responding to these realities with equality alone often preserve inequality. Equality is what helps close the gap. Globally, we see powerful examples of equality in action. In Bangladesh, targeted stipend program for girls' secondary education helped families keep girls in school, leading to increased enrollment and decline in child marriage. In several African countries, safe schools initiatives addressed girls' safety through secure transport and sanitization facilities, recognizing that safety is essential for learning. Organizations like the Malala Fund continue to work across marginalized regions, reminding us that girls' education is not charity, it is justice. These global lessons are strongly reflected in India, particularly in the state of Bihar. In the cycle schemes, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and also this. These efforts clearly show that equality does not mean giving more, it means removing barriers. I would like to move ahead with this understanding. Fair education is not defined by giving every child the same support, but by giving every child a real chance to succeed. I appreciate that when we invest in our equity for girls, whether in Bihar or anywhere in the world, we invest the healthier families, a stronger economics, and more just societies. So let us move from asking, are we treating everyone equally, to asking, are we creating conditions where every girl can learn, dream, and lead? That is what fair education truly looks like. Thank you. Thank you. This is opinion for today. And
Thank
thank
you.
you everyone to
Thank you very
listen
much.
me.
Thank you, Dr. Sarika. Thank you for highlighting girls' education. Your insights clearly show how education remains a powerful tool for breaking structural and societal barriers. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to be welcoming Ambassador Lagmani Kumari as she speaks on teaching with equity and equality, shaping the system to feed the child. Over to you, Ambassador Lagmani.
Thank you, respected Galeria ma'am, Rania ma'am, Yala ma'am, Syama ma'am, Sarika ma'am, Nahi sir, Kamal Lagan sir, and everyone. Thank you so much to give me this opportunity. Good evening. Fair education is not about treating all learners is the same. It's about honing their different with international support. Think about each one student thrives or visual aids, sketching diagrams to unlock capture. Another needs hand-on experiments to grasp to the same ideas. The third shining through story and discussions weaving knowledge into personal narrative thinking, them all identically. That's not fairness. Each difference, true equality, means seeing each learner's unique strength, challenge, and a spark of potential. It means adapting our teaching, offering tools like audio books of the dyslexic reader, flexible painting for the gift mind, or peer mentoring for the environment. When be the this be not lower the her the child cross. It educators, parents, policymakers, let's committee today to identity national support. Let's measure success not by uniformity but by every student growth, because when we honor difference, we unlock a world possibility. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
Thank you,
very,
ma'am.
thank you very much, Ambassador Lagmani, for that thoughtful presentation. Your emphasis on shaping the system to fit the child's powerfully captures the essence of equity in education. Thank you very much. We appreciate your presentation. And I'm going to
Thank
move.
you.
You're welcome. I'm going to move over to Dr. Gloria Okpara as she speaks on from equality to equity, empowering every child's voice through inclusive education. Over to you, Dr. Gloria.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Equality to equity. Everyone has just spoken my mind, but I will have one or two to say. In life generally, we are equal before God, but it is certain we do not enjoy the same form of equity in life. So as educators or teachers, we move into the classrooms where we transfer whatever we have to our learners. Like some people have said, all those learners are coming from different homes with different forms of exposures. Let me put it that way, or exposure. Some are traumatized, some are happy, some are well-to-do, some are struggling. How do we carry every one of them along? And not teaching some and leaving some, which brings us to inclusion. I wrote something down here. Any teacher who can really practice equity has practiced inclusion while teaching. So what do I have to say? Responding to learners' differences, that's equity. What are the tools that we need? And the aim of using any tool is to ensure that we are removing barriers or any blockage in order to reach high standards. We shouldn't ignore the voices, meaning if we do that, it means we are just being selective. But we should empower those voices so that they can transform into what they ought to be. The environment should be where every learner is heard, supported, and valued. And at the end, what will be the benefits? Confidence, empathy, sense of belonging, skills for life that will help them, especially those ones who are traumatized already because of the family background or one form of challenge or the other. So because of time, we are all supposed to be committed in any way we are doing. How? Let's be fair to them. Let us practice understanding over assumptions. If you understand a learner, I joined late today because I had 2 learners I had to stay beyond the close of time to attend to based on the results of the CA that came. And at the end, the girl understood, one of the girls understood that she has been living on assumptions. My father is rich, I don't need to read, I don't need to do that. When I gave her life examples, she just told me, "Ma, I promise you, by exam, you will see a better part of me." So thank you very much, and let us ensure that we don't just practice equality, but equity, and it will lead to inclusive education for all the learners. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gloria Okpara. That reflection reinforces the journey from equality to equity, where every child's voice is not only heard, but empowered through inclusive education. Thank you very much, and wonderful example. We appreciate you. And I'm going to move over to our next speaker, Dr. Hussein Makdoum, and he's going to be speaking on bridging socioeconomic gaps, equity-driven innovation in education delivery. Over to you, Dr. Hussein.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Gloria, and all the other participants. So, education has long been called for millions of students. Access to quality learning still depends on income, location, and opportunity. Bridging socioeconomic gaps in education is not just a moral responsibility. It is an urgent necessity for sustainable development. Equity-driven innovation means designing education system that responds to real barriers faced by learners. For some, that barrier is poverty. For others, it is geography, gender, disability, or lack of digital access. Innovation, therefore, must go beyond technology. It must be international, inclusive, intentional, and human centered. We see powerful examples already. Low cost digital platforms bring lessons to remote communities, just like we are here from different countries, speaking to each other, sharing our knowledge and ideas. Mobile learning allows students to study anytime and anywhere. Community based schools and public private partnerships help reach marginalized populations where traditional systems fall short. Even short solutions like flexible schooling hours or multilingual content can transform outcomes for disadvantaged learners. However, equity is not about giving everyone the same resources. It is about giving each learner what they need to succeed. This requires a data-informed policies, teacher training, and strong investment in undeserved areas. So most importantly, it requires listening to students and communities themselves. When we innovate with equity at the core, education becomes a bridge, not a barrier. A bridge that connects talent to opportunity and potential to progress. So let us commit to building education systems that leave no one behind. Because when education is equitable, societies don't just grow, they thrive. Thank you. Thank you everyone for listening me carefully.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hussein, for that amazing presentation and for drawing attention to socioeconomic realities. Your emphasis on innovation shows how equity-driven solutions can meaningfully close opportunity gaps. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate your presentation. And moving on, I'm going to be welcoming Dr. Binita Prakash as she speaks on reimagining classrooms, differentiated instruction as the heart of educational equity. Over to you.
Yes, very
Dr.
good
Binita.
evening to all of you, to all the amazing, wonderful, talented educationists. Thank you, Gloria ma'am, for giving me such an amazing question.
Thank you.
To answer this, I want to say, start with the quote of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. But The truth is, not every child experiences education in the same way. If we are to reimagine classrooms, we must place differentiated instructions at the very heart of educational equity. Carol and Tomlinson, a leading voice in this field, reminds us understanding differentiation is the simply a teacher attending to the learning needs of a particular student or small groups of students rather than teaching a class as though all individuals in it were basically alike. Differentiated instructions means adopting lessons to readiness levels, interests, and learning styles, offering multiple pathways, visuals, hands on tasks, enrichment, or scaffolding, creating flexible groupings, and giving students choice in how they learn. This isn't about lowering expectations, as Tomlinson also said. Differentiated instruction is a teaching philosophy based on the premise that teachers should adopt instruction to student differences. It's about raising opportunities for every learner. Equity in education is not sameness. As one modern wise puts it, equity in education means giving every child what they individually needs to succeed, not the same resources but the right resources. Differentiation embodies this principle. It acknowledges barriers, whether language, disability, or socio-economic background, and transforms diversity into strength. In this way, teachers become facilitators of growth, ensuring no learner is left behind. Reimagining classroom through differentiated instruction is more than a strategy. It is a moral imperative. If equity is the destination, differentiation is the vehicle, and when we embrace it, we move closer to Mandela's vision, a world changed through the power of education. And I want to close this to this quote. Let us not settle for classrooms of sameness. Let us not settle for classrooms of sameness. Instead, let us build classroom of fairness, where differentiated instruction ensures that equity is not just an aspiration but a lived reality for every child. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Benita. Thank you for reminding us that classrooms are at the heart of equity. Your focus on differentiated instruction reinforces that fairness in education is deeply personal and learner-centered. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'm going to move over to our next speaker, Ambassador Jonathan Blessing Onyosin, and he's going to be speaking on STEM for all, ensuring equity in science, technology, and climate education. Over to you, Ambassador Jonathan.
All right, thank you, ma. Good afternoon, ma.
Afternoon.
Based on the topic given to me, STEM for all, ensuring equity in science, technology, and climate education. STEM education is a powerful driver of innovation, economic growth, and sustainable development. Yet, access to quality STEM learning, especially climate education, remains unequal across regions, gender, and socio-economic groups. STEM for all is about closing these gaps so everyone can participate meaningfully in shaping a resilient future. I would like to start by saying expanding access and inclusion. Equity begins with access. Schools is undeserved and rural communities often lack laboratories, digital tools, and trained teachers. Targeted investments in infrastructure, affordable internet, open source learning materials, and mobile science labs can help level the playing field. Inclusion also means designing curricula that support learners with disabilities and those from diverse linguistic and cultural backgrounds. Two, we have gender and social equity. Girls, women, and marginalized groups are represented in STEM fields. Addressing this requires early encouragement, visible role models, mentorship, programs, and learning environments free from bias. Scholarships, community outreach, and culturally responsive teaching can dismantle barriers and build confidence. Climate education for real world impact. Climate education should be practical and locally relevant, connecting global science to community realities like flooding, droughts, energy access, and food security. Project-based learning, citizen science, and indigenous knowledge integration empower students to understand climate changes, climate challenges, and co-create solutions. In summary, ensuring equity in STEM and climate education is not just about fairness, it is about unlocking collective potentials. When everyone has the tools to learn, innovate, and act, societies are better equipped to address climate change and build sustainable, inclusive futures. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Jonathan, for highlighting equity in STEM and climate education. Your contribution or your speech challenges us to ensure that innovation and sustainability are inclusive, not exclusive. Thank you very much. Thank you for that amazing presentation. And I'm going to call on Professor Dr. Suraya Bano as she speaks on language, culture, and inclusion, rethinking equity in multilingual education. Over to you.
Very good evening. This is Professor Dr. Suraya from India. The core dimension of the rethinking equity is the linguistic fluidity over boundaries. Modern equity frameworks advocate for multilinguality, which views language as a fluid resource. Culturally sustaining pedagogy, equity is achieved when instruction is not responsive but sustaining, actively preserving and revitalizing minority and indigenous languages to protect students' heritage and identity. Systematic inclusion through equity requires shifting from individual teachers' effort to collaborative leadership. This involves aligning school policies with national frameworks like India National Education Policy NEP 2020, which supports instruction in the mother tongue, recruiting and training teachers who model multilingualization as a more norm rather than an exception. The key benefits of inclusive multilingual educations are improved academic outcomes. Students taught in a language they understand are 14% more likely to read with understanding by the end of primary school. Social cohesion, recognizing diverse languages, reduce marginalization and builds trust between schools and immigrant or minority communities. Cognitive flexibility, multilingualization enhances problem solving skills, creativity, and the ability to switch between tasks effectively. The implementation challenges a resource gap, a critical shortage of trained multilingual teachers and high quality instructional material, economic pressures, global languages like English are often valued more than local ones, leading to parental or societal resistance against mother tongue instruction. Technological divide. While AI can help bridge language gaps, digital tools must be developed inclusively to support underrepresented languages. Now, I conclude rethinking equity in multilingual education involves moving beyond seeing a student's home language as a barrier and instead valuing it as a vital cognitive and cultural asset. This shift requires integrating home languages into the curriculum to foster deep conceptual understanding while actively dismantling the monolingual bias and often persist in traditional education system. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Suraya Bano. Thank you for highlighting language and culture. Your insights remind us that inclusion must respect linguistic diversity to achieve true educational equity. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'm going to move over to our next speaker for today, Ambassador Kosti Agnes. Ambassador Kosti Agnes, are you ready? Okay. She's going to be speaking on learner voice and participation, why equity means listening to students. Over to you, Ambassador Agnes. Okay, in her, it's like she's not ready. We have 5 minutes left right now. So I think we should just move out and come back again for the last time. Please pardon me. Let's come back again for the last time and conclude, because 5 minutes will not be enough for us. So see you soon. Thanks for understanding.